One, two, three, okay. Hey, okay. Let's sing it. Okay. Hey, you making my day. Okay. Hey, let's sing it. Okay. Hey, you making my day.
This is Zinni the Queen. So this is a story about childhood crushes, going slow and how not to rush it. I'ma tell you how I turned adolescence into adult lessons back when I was a baker's dozen. I'm studging magazines, books, peer discussions, FaceTime, story times with cousins. I'm wondering, does anybody know how to make things work? And I'm searching on my phone how to flirt when you're shy, but you're cool and you're fly. But at school there's this guy who everybody likes, but he really is your type and you don't wanna be left behind. But true love these days is hard to find. Still, you don't wanna be the one to say things first, cause everyone pretending we know how to make things work.
1, 2, 3. It could all be so simple. 1, 2, 3. Hey, 1, 2, 3. Hey.
Do the pieces paint a picture you can post online? Do the opinions of your homies really shape your life? Are we trying to recreate the lives we watch on screen? Cause it seems I spent my teens trying out for the lead. See, there are cycles I circled so often, I clocked that I was the common diameter. And the one, I didn't get much time with her. I learned my love has a limit and parameters. Mixed signals morph into missed opportunities. Desirability is punitary. The story is told from the perspective of the one avoiding scrutiny, and minding your business won't grant immunity. Stay there with that garbage, we don't do that here. Hebrews 10:39, we don't move by fear. Since the serpent, y'all been using your tongues to deceive, but I'm the Eve with the axe, cut the serpent and the tree. We can't be meant to be until we are to begin with. You the Potiphar I'm never gonna sin with. Asking who sin with? Frankly, that will never be your business. Invest time in your prayer life and your fitness. These dudes stay trying to holler, but I tell them get your game up. Or sit here in the lobby, wait until we call your name up. You can't stand next to a bad bitch. You look bad next to a bad bitch. You two are looking like an episode of Catfish. She looking snatched and you just looking average. Your counterfeit's not fitting. I think I might give him a chance, just kidding. just let me ask you this. Are you mad about my standards or mad you can't reach them? You act like I'm the last woman on earth and you're leeching. You should breathe, man. Do some inner healing. Find some other fish, you gotta pick them from the beach then. Oh, and make sure you can really keep them. Stop complaining about the ones that's in the deep end.
1, 2, 3.
It should be elementary at this point.
You should breathe, man. Do some inner healing.
Okay, it started in below, back when I was 0. R&Ts with Bessie back when Auntie was my hero. Training for the marathons together on the D-Lo. I saw glorious Pretoria when I was 1-0. Back then 9 years after to support, they told me though, my aunt tore a muscle, they can't stitch like Lilo. After I returned, things all took a turn. Didn't meet in the garden, but we met in the gazebo. Tried to sneak though, tried to take a beat though. A can't possible entry, but they stopped me like she go. And then you shoot your shot like a free throw. And then you say your name is, hey.
Baby, you look good, you look handsome. Even in the selfies on your Samsung. Everybody look good on an iPhone. I'm glad I got your number up in my
Hey, baby, you look good, you look handsome. Even in the selfies that you're taking on your Samsung. Make me wanna do the most and dance on. Just to try to catch you, you're a 10, you're a 10, you're a 10, you're a 10. Now I got you deeper than the DMs. I could be your BM. Wondering when next I'm gonna see him.
But that would have to be after the marriage. Good thing I already met the parents.
Friend, do I look cute or I look crazy? Tryna keep it classy like a lady in a coupe Mercedes. Does he like me back? Well, that's a maybe. Now he got me picking all these petals off of daisies. He loves me, he loves me not. He loves me, he loves me not. He loves me, he loves me, he loves me, he loves me. Find myself thinking about you lately more than usual. And when I hit you up, you reply with that matutinal. Good morning, babe, you suitable. Your charm is indisputable, reputable. Your balling in your game is just so beautiful. I'm saying questions, you enough for me. I can tell already you got love for me. Formally formal, but now casual like casualties.
Killing me softly,
Killing it casually. I'm not used to being listened to, I'm used to being used. Now you got me looking confident and seeing brighter views. You bring color to my world, boy. And I can't wait to be your girl, boy. I'm saying questions cause you a tall glass. See, I got a lot of friends and they all asking like, hey girl, does your boy got a twin? Older brother, younger brother, do we got some cousins? Cousin? I think I like him too. And I'm like, one of a kind, baby, that's my boo. You were drinking, I'm drowning. What you gonna do? Had to spill it in the music cause I'm quenched on you.
I'm quenched on you. I'm quenched on you. What can I do? I'm quenched on you. Ooh.
I didn't see you coming, doom and doom my destiny. Too good to be true like the Lord is testing me. Somehow you get the best of me. The rest of me is wondering what's the recipe. So chill it, feeling nothing stressing me. Because it's all natural like Alicia. Never gonna leave ya. Like Lee's doing a guest code, you need me. I need ya. Like snow tires and such what you want. You, the iron tablets took cure my anemia. I'm surprised cause at this age I'm still drowning, floundering. Like Errol's best friend, boy, you got dimples to rival her prince. Are you the one? Cause baby, I'm convinced.
How many times have I said that before?
Okay, your selfie's all a masterpiece. I pray to find my Mr. Please. Pray that you're my missing piece. Missing you is not my piece. When you're not there, I'm not at ease. But when you're back, it's easy to remember that you need me like a clownfish needs a seaweed or an enemy. Protect you from the enemy. You look beyond my faults, so I hope you see me through necessity. Based on how you act, I know you cherish me. 1 Corinthians 13, we got love and we got charity.
J'apprécie ton compagnie. Je vous invite à venir me voir et contre-nous et prendre rendez-vous.
Had to spill it in the music cause I'm quenched on you.
Now down this river I'm floating. You sweep me off my feet. And round this river I'm floating. And I just don't know, is this real or but a dream?
Life is but a daydream with you.
They think I'm thirsty, but I'm actually quenched. You got me singing in the rain until I'm actually drenched.
Are you actually quenched?
Yup, I'm good like Megan, chilling with the angels in the 7th heaven. I'm pretty put together, we gorgeous. Endorphins swimming through my bloodstream like porpoise. I talk to God about you, praying we succeed. Like, shall I proceed?
Yes, indeed.
You got me feeling so comfortable. How we looking like the young future Huxtables? What you say? Let's reboot, me and you. Deja vu, you lovable, I'm quenched on you.
Quenched on you. Somebody is in love. I'm quenched on you. Said somebody is in love. What can I do? Somebody is in love. I'm quenched on you. Said somebody. Ooh. Five missed calls from me. Are you listening? Yeah, I know you got a lot to do, but you told me when to call. You say you're at the library, but you still let it ring. Now I'm asking for transparency, cause the risk's not worth the fall. And I know we've had a talk like this before. Months have passed, I don't think I can do this anymore. Knew that it was over. My head is getting dizzy, going round and round. Can we take a break and let things play out? Time to recover. Memories and moments playing on the reel. I ain't tryna watch this. I can't deal. How is it even possible to love you still?
To love you still. To love.
5 hours on the phone, just us two alone. Many tried and failed to get to this point. You're my favorite, I'll admit. Both got an early morning, but we're still on the phone. And I don't get to. Even though I didn't know you then, I can see your inner kid. 'Cause your favorite toy to play with was my heart. Why else would you spaz when I ask you to play your part? When you missed my second birthday in a row, you don't know how many times I try to let you go. Time to recover. Waiting for the moment I will finally heal. You never asked me how I feel. How is it even possible to love you still? Perfume, it mingles with the perfume in the air tonight. Someone who looks like you, I'll dance with them to spite you. You're not here tonight. And the way he looks at me just makes me feel so good. Now she got me misbehaving, not acting like I should. It's over. Dance till I'm over you. Dance to recover. Dance to get so distracted. Dance till it's over. Dance till I'm over you. Dance to recover. Dance to get so distracted. Dance. Let's just dance the night away. Dance. Dance the night away. To forget you, but I still respect you. What you do to me, DJ, turn it louder. My singing turns to shouting. Will it set me free? One thing left to do. I'm gonna dance, dance the night away. Dance, dance the night away. Dance till it's over. Dance till I'm over you. Dance to recover. Dance to forget the sound you was. Dance till it's over. Dance till I'm over you. Dance to recover. Dance to feel something other than change. Dance till it's over. Dance till I'm over you. Dance to recover. Dance till I'm sober.
What sound does a shooting star make? Does it crackle like a firework on the 1st of July, fizzling as its embers lose their light? Does it whirl like the wind through an open sunroof on the freeway, silencing even the noisiest of thoughts, howling louder than the highest setting on the stereo, whirling and whistling, a noise made in collaboration with the empty spaces it visits? Does it free fall without gravity, or is its path directed? Does it convince itself it's flying? Or is it obvious to everyone, including itself, that it is falling apart? Does it sound like a flame after striking a matchstick? Does it angrily burn holes in the stratosphere, burning anything incapable of breaking its fall? Or does it fall silently, the sounds it would have made being swallowed up in the vacuum of space? Like you did.
Just because it's cold outside don't mean you have to treat me like it's 30 and below. Please sit down, it's been a while since I last saw you smile. What's up with all this snow? Yeah, I'd like to say I knew what happened. Days got shorter, seasons passed, and I got wondering why. What happened to my sunshine? What happened to the blue skies when I looked in your eyes? Yeah, when it's like every day was like a walk in the park. Now I just feel like I've been left in the dark. Baby, I can't find my way. What happened to my... Though right now we feel the pain, I know we can get past the rain. See the flowers in full bloom. Oh, we were more than just a team. Wake me from this awful dream. It don't have to end in doom. Oh, I'd like to say I knew what happened. Days got short and seasons passed, and I got wondering why. What happened to my sunshine? Oh, what happened to the blue skies when I looked in your eyes, baby? When it's like every day was like a walk in the park. Now I just feel like I've been left in the dark, baby, and I can't find my way. And I know you'll say it's temporary. Take the pills till February. I can't seem to get you to remember why your heart is frozen and my heart is broken. Hey, only God knows how this story goes, but now I'm crying out. What happened to my sunshine? What happened to the blue skies when I looked in your eyes? Oh, when it's like every day was like a walk in the park. Now I just feel like I've been left in the dark, baby. I can't find my way. What happened to my sunshine? What happened? to see you, comparing it to what I know is true. Am I upset because of who you turned out to be, or more because of what I chose to see? Maybe I've been too quick to point out all your flaws. Maybe I'm just looking for someone to make me feel at all. Why can't you be the one for me? I need you to do this one for me, please. And no, I never once exalted you as perfect. The whole time was aware of who you are. You hurt the ones around you 'cause you're hurting deep inside. I tried to be the one to make it right. Of course I do forgive you, and I've moved along. And oh, one day I hope you'll see what I've seen all along. Why can't I be the one for you? I can try, but I've got to secure my own oxygen mask before I help you. 'Cause I need healing too, and blind can't lead the blind. You know when someone's drowning, you can't jump in, they'll pull you down too. You deserve your breath, but not at my expense. That's why I'm thinking about the way I used to see you, adjusting it to line up with the truth. It's difficult to leave behind the pain, I see it in your eyes. But I deserve an ending filled with hope and not demise. I'm not the one.
Hey, it's Z. Thanks for the call. I'm currently on hiatus healing somewhere, but please leave your message after the tone and I'll get back to you when I'm feeling better. Bye.
Hey, I need you to breathe. I want you to sit still, take in the moment, and even though your body may be trembling from fear or feeling overwhelmed or any negative emotion that just has you afraid to confront your state of being in this moment, it's okay. Allow it to course through. Ignoring it doesn't have it go away, but confronting it allows it to not only carry its cycle, but for you to feel empowered, because those emotions can be draining. Even if it's operating subconsciously, it's actively got an effect. So I need you to sit back, breathe, remember that life is working for you and is not just happening to you. You need to pray or meditate, just so that could remind you of your humanity and that a lot is out of your control, but what is in your control is what's right in front of you. Now open your eyes and get working.
So about a year ago, my anxiety was at its worst, and I ended up getting this app on my phone where it sends me daily affirmations. And at first I didn't know how to feel about it. I thought they were really cheesy, but there were some that really did stick out to me, and these are my top 3. My first one is, I feel anxious, but so what? I know what that feels like, and I'll get through it. The second one I have is, I'm allowing myself to acknowledge all unpleasant emotions, not judge them as good or bad, but as a human experience. And then finally, the last one that I have, which I remind myself on a daily basis, this is the one that really sticks to my core, is everything is going to be okay. There's also countless others that I really do like, but those are my top three, especially the last one, because regardless of what I'm going through or how my day's been, I know that everything is going to be okay.
I find that in the hustle and bustle of every day, that perfection is an illusion and can never be reached. But if we strive for balance, then we can live healthier and more fulfilled lives, content lives.
Be strong enough to let go and patient enough to wait for what you truly deserve.
Everything happens for a reason.
This too shall pass. God does not give you a load which you cannot carry. This too shall pass. God does not give you a load that you cannot carry. When I repeat to myself, referring to myself, speaking to myself, obviously, from myself, is I am power. I can overcome anything. I am power. I can overcome anything.
Okay, I'm not that great with affirmations, as in saying it as it is, but a word of encouragement that got me through my tough times was knowing that this too shall pass. And sometimes you get overwhelmed with how you feel, and you feel like it's going to last forever. And the truth is, it will pass. Doesn't feel like it in the moment. You almost think, negative feelings can weigh you down so badly. You feel like you've never known joy. You can only dwell on all the bad things that have happened to you and that feel like keep happening to you. But you almost forget that when you were going through other very tough times, different from whatever you're going through at that moment, you almost forget that it passed and you got over what you thought you were never going to get over. So you're definitely going to get over what it is right now you feel like you won't get over. It will pass. That's what gets me through tough times and what has gotten me through some serious tough times in my life.
Sometimes I struggle with choosing myself over disappointing other people, and it helps that it's on my wall so I can look at it when I'm having trouble with the choice. And it's when it all works out in the end, investing in myself is investing in others, because by investing in myself, I have more to give to others. Another one I really like, or another word I really like, is I'm working towards the tranquility of triumph, or the peace of triumph, because there's peace sometimes in working. There's peace in rest too, but there's also peace in working towards something that's important to you. So I have a couple of Bible verses that I like. One of them is 2 Corinthians 9 verse 8. And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things, at all times, having all you need, you abound in every good work. So sometimes, it can get easy to feel guilty about blessing, but I'm blessed to bless others. So this is a play on good is better than great. It's an affirmation I like to say to myself when I feel like, something is not worth doing, or I'm close to giving up, and it's anything worth doing is worth doing poorly. So if it's worth doing, if it's worth, let's say, finishing my assignment, for example, doing it poorly is better than not doing it at all. When I was really going through it, I go through periods of depression, and sometimes it's hard to believe in myself. So I came up with, I compiled a bunch of things I call daily truths, and they're true things I like to tell myself because sometimes I forget them. My favorite ones that energize me and keep me going. One of them is the passing of time is beautiful creation. Passing time allows me to work in harmony with all versions of myself. Another one I like was keep failing forward. And these are not all mine. They're a combination of, some of them are mine, some of them are like from speeches or like things people have said. Another one I really like is I'm willing to try and I'm wired to win. And I win every time I choose to try again. And I start things that are important to me and I enjoy the process of making progress. And then this one is really important to me because I struggled with trusting myself and completing things that I started. And I got into a cycle of not being able to trust that I can finish things. So what was the point of even starting? So it was good to remind myself that I trust myself and believe in my follow through. I trust the systems I create. So yeah, those are all my favorite ones. Yeah. I've got walls and walls of this stuff. I can put them all over my house. But yeah.
No matter the outcome, I did best with the information and resources I had at the time.
I've had so many low points in my life that there is no way I can't be hopeful, and there's no way that I can't believe in the Lord, because He's lifted me up from the deep muddy clay and He's planted my feet in the King's highway. And that verse resonates with me the most, because even at my lowest, even when life seemed meaningless, there was hope. There was hope that tomorrow will be different, and taking it each day as it comes, putting God first, had been the best decision I've ever made. We often see ourselves in situations and we think, this is the worst thing that could possibly happen to me. But every single time in retrospect, whether it's a week later, a month later, a year later, you see how strong and how far you've come, and you see that that could have not ended your life, because things do get better. And not only things getting better, is that we have this ability and this something that is in us to just dream and to just hope and to believe. And that's what gets me out of any dark situation. It's because God has granted me the strength to dream, to teleport myself into the unthinkable. And because I take God along in all my dreams and my hopes, they become possible. They come into fruition. The only thing that I saw was limiting me was my mind and myself. Because if I could think positively, if I could hope, if I could dream, that's how it would be. And I'm not saying that tough times wouldn't come, because that's when tough times would come. It would be a test of how positive you think, how hopeful you are, and what exactly you're grounded in, or who your faith is in, which is God. And that's what I saw took me through my life and is carrying me till today. After losing my mom, I thought, this is the end of me. Where's my purpose? Where's my drive? But God remained faithful, and He gave me opportunities that I wouldn't have thought of, because He showed me that my faith in Him and my strength in Him was going to be rewarding. If I can do it, if anyone can do it, so can you. The only thing limiting you is your mind and yourself. What you think on, what you meditate on is what is limiting you. Those structures, those racist structures, those sexist structures will always be there, but your mind is what you can strengthen and use to defeat anything that comes. And so if you're thinking, should I do it? Should I continue? Yes. Continue. Do it. Imagine the unimaginable. And if you can't imagine the unimaginable, Ask God to reveal the unimaginable. Don't limit yourself. Keep on trying, and whenever in a bad situation, just remember that it is only short-lived, and you will get and achieve every single thing that you want and you say with your mouth.
I definitely have to say, whenever I'm having a season of difficulty, something that definitely encourages my heart and my mind is a quote, and it says, when you can't trace God's hand, trust his heart. And I think that goes hand in hand with the Bible verse that says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God. That's always a huge encouragement for my heart, my mind, and it's a bit of a fallback for me because many times we have difficulty in life. We have those seasons of doubt, and that is some of the most encouraging words that always comes to mind in the midst of a difficult time. So I hope that helps someone that's listening to this message.
Okay, I want to share two messages. The first, I remember when I went for my driving test, I was incredibly scared. Like, I was trembling. Anxiety had gotten the best of me, and I was really nervous because it was my third time. And you know, when you're just like, I shouldn't be getting this wrong, I don't understand why I'm not getting this right. And on both times it was because, like, I knew what to do. I was ready. Like, you know, when you practice for something, you're ready, but then when you go into it, you just, like, I was so overwhelmed, my legs would start shaking, and so I wouldn't be able to perform and do what I needed to do when I needed to do it. And I remember waiting for them to call me and, you know, to test. I was just standing outside, just pacing and trying to just, like, you know, I need to calm down, trying to breathe, trying to think this and that. And I sent my dad a message. I actually didn't want him to come because I didn't want him to see me if I failed, because the car ride home would have been so embarrassing. But so I went with my driving instructor and I sent him a message and I was like, hey, Dad, I'm really scared. And he responded to me and he says to me, fear is of the devil. Sorry, I paused to actually read the message again. He said, fear is of the devil. How are you going to possess the land if you are fearful? And the verse that he shared with me was from the book of Joshua 1, verses 9. It says, have I not commanded you to be strong and of good courage? Do not be afraid, neither be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. And seriously, I kid you not when I say that word of courage, that word of removing fear and not being dismayed because my God is with me. At the same time, like, it was really hot that day, but at that same time, straight after I'd read that and straight after I'd, like, absorbed what it was saying and what it meant, there was a breeze that, like, literally cooled me down, but not just my body, like my being, my soul. And I was just so calm. And I knew that I would be able to do it. I knew that God would give me the strength to do it and to do it properly, you know. And yeah, I passed. And when when I got out the car, they obviously don't tell you there, you have to walk into the office. And I was just smiling, right? And the examiner even said, like, why are you so happy? Like, what's going on? And I was just like, no, it's just a really good day, you know. And he's like, yeah, you have passed and stuff like that. And the first thing I could say was, thank you, Lord, you know, because I know it wasn't me. It wasn't of my own strength. And I'm encouraging everyone who is faced with something that makes them scared, something that they have to kind of conquer, achieve, work towards, be it a test exam or anything, going out on a new venture, that we shouldn't be scared. How are we going to possess that? How are we going to possess the land if we are fearful? Remember, those 10 spies didn't get to go and see the promised land because they were too scared. And we serve a God who is not limited by the things that we are limited by. And so we shouldn't ever be scared, really. But I guess it's our human nature. But we need to remind ourselves when we do fall into that fleshly nature of being afraid that we need not. I wanted to share this one for those of us who are in a very tough and tight spot. I would encourage you to read the book of Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, the whole book, and Job chapter 23. But I'm just going to speak on the book of Job right now. This verse, this passage has carried me through a very tough time. And I just know God had me in mind when he made whoever the author of Job is pin this down, because there's a part where Job is pleading with God and he says, I go forward and I'm not seeing you. I go backwards and you're not there. And to the left, I'm not perceiving you. I don't know where you're working. I go to the right and it's like you're hiding yourself from me. I cannot see you, Lord. Where are you? And that's where he is. He's at that point in his walk with God. And I could relate because I was also in the same state. And for those of us who are, I want to share this because the resolution is in verse 10. And it says, but he knows the way that I take. And when he has tried me, I will come forth as gold. And listen, verses 14, he performs the thing that is appointed for me. Therefore, I am troubled at his presence when I consider I am afraid of him. God makes my heart soft. These words are really powerful, and I hope that when these moments come up, when we feel like we are left alone, we are abandoned, that we might not be so overwhelmed by the trial that is turning us into gold that we forget God. All right? These things that we face, we are appointed to face them. These are our testimonies. These are our battle scars. When we get to heaven, we're gonna be like, listen, this is what God brought me through. When Job is up there testifying that this is what I had to endure, you have to have your own testimony. You can't go up there without a testimony. You know what I mean? So endure the things that you're going through with faith. Pray for endurance. Pray for the strength. I know it is not easy, but you are not alone. You might feel lonely and feel like no one is there, but you are not alone. God is there and he is with you and he is watching you. And just keep holding on to the truth of his word. Amen.
Throughout my life, one phrase that has really gotten me through tough times is the phrase, mind over matter. The reason I like this phrase is because what it shows me is that no matter what the situation is, no matter what physical matter is in front of you, if you have the mental capacity to get over something, you can get over it. So always be headstrong and you can get through a situation. Sometimes that's worked to my detriment in the sense that I've ignored everything that's going on. But for the most part, I think it's helped me more than it's been a hindrance to me. So, next time you're feeling down, just remember, mind over matter. Tough times come to pass.
Feel the Fear and Do It Anyways is one of my favorite books by Susan Jeffers, and it's also one of my favorite quotes ever since I first read it years ago. What I love about this book and this quote is that it acknowledges the fact that fear is a very real emotion and it's unavoidable for so many of us before we make really big decisions in life or before we take those really big risks that we know we need to take to get to the next chapter of our life. I have really resonated with this quote because it has that push of encouragement at the end to really remind me that, hey, whenever things get really scary, that's okay, but you can't let that fear paralyze you. Use that fear as a fire and use it to fire your passion and keep going, and just don't let that fear overtake you. So I always just play that over and over again in my mind before I make those really big decisions, and it always feels really great afterwards, just knowing that I felt that fear and I still did it anyways.
All right, so the one thing that I've noticed in my life is that I felt so unstable or insecure because it seems as if I wasn't consistent even in like my dreams or goals. Like even those change from year to year, from decade to decade. And something that I remind myself is that I believe my dreams are a growing organism. Every year, every decade, every critical moment in my life, something has changed to either revealed or changed some part of who I am. So it makes sense that that would change my path, right? So that just gives me more freedom to not take life so seriously because everything in life is dynamic. I should probably redo that because I stutter. What's really centered me is reminding myself that the only constant in life is change, and that prepares me to expect change, and that most areas of our lives will be subject to change. And so learning to dance within that, and then by extension that, you know, I would get so insecure about how my dreams and my goals changed because I would look around and some people seem to know what they want to do, and then that's what they do, and then they're cool with that. But that's not for everyone, and even for them, just because they haven't changed it does not mean that they were not called to change that or that they did not want to change that. So my dreams have changed significantly from year to year, from decade to decade. Even if it was slightly so, it did not stay static or stagnant. So one thing I say, remind myself, is that my dreams are a growing organism. It is growing just as much as me. It's probably correlational, right? As I change and as my views change, as my tastes change, or how I discard parts of myself that weren't truly me to begin with, my dreams move according to that. And so it just gives me a sense of freedom to not feel stuck, or that I have to like follow the script of what the 10-year-old Celine wanted. My dreams are a growing organism just like me. The only constant is change, and instead of being scared of that, to dance along the waves. The second affirmation is that failure informs our path just as much as success does, because girl, I have failed or been redirected so many different times, and it's easy for us to get hard on ourselves, especially if we weren't given grace as a kid to make mistakes freely. So I remind myself that failure, like right after failure, a lot of my biggest breakthroughs happened. A lot of my strengths were revealed after failure, or maybe a dead end was revealed after failure. So like failure is just as much, if not more, useful than success. They just both, at the end of the day, they both provide information, and to look at it more objectively as opposed to like from an ego standpoint of this informs something about who I am. Instead, I try, when I remember to say this affirmation, that failure informs our path just as much as success does. So I'm able to look at it as a point of data for my path, as opposed to a point of data of who I am as a person. Because if we choose to look at it from a point of objectivity, I feel like we can learn from it more and choose growth instead of shame. So those are my 2 affirmations. This project sounds dope. Can't wait to hear it.
When you grow up sleeping in the coldest room in the house, it takes time to realize that the outside world isn't as cold as the habitat you acclimatize to. Space heaters only reach so far, and still there are blankets cozy enough to warm up what the warm air can't reach. Hot water bottles on feet, I repeat this warming ritual nightly. The morning rays repressing my memory of discomfort. The subconscious corners collect what's discarded. The days elongate and the snow dissipates. Still, I keep my heating habits, no longer out of necessity but routine, almost oblivious to the world warming up again, even in my cold little room. At least this room faces east. I watch the sunrise. Surely as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, so will my soul find rest, without which it cannot recover. Hope is a worthy investment. I will collect my return with interest. The seasons are guaranteed, but only for their appointed time. And then each day slips into eternity, propelling me into the next. Baptized with sunshine and cleansed by the rain, I reclaim what the winter stole. The cycle ends here. I've seen you here a lot, and there's something I wanna say. I love how your smile alone literally brightens up my day. Like heart skips then triple times when I hear you come my way. Yeah, every day I know the feeling. You have this je ne sais quoi exuded in your every step. So what do you do for fun, and can I do it in this dress? Much I'd like to talk about when you ask if I'm impressed. No need to guess, I get the feeling. When I'm with you, you're like my favorite song. I can't seem to forget this tune. When I'm with you, I jump off a diving board, I'm swimming in the ocean blue. When I'm with you, time stops and my heart drops. I know you feel it too. Ain't that the truth? You know the feeling, how I feel when I'm with you. And I know you feel it too. Hey, do you have my phone number? I'm tryna bless you with the call. You and me should spend summer, but could we make it till the fall? Feel like last time we hung out, we planned a trip to Montreal. Do you recall? I get the feeling, and the way that I'm acting nonchalant, I wonder if you feel the same. Same time, don't wanna be too blatant, gonna let you do your thing. But the way you say my name in that tone reserved for me, what it does to me, you know the feeling. When I'm with you, you're like my favorite song. I can't seem to forget this tune. When I'm with you, I jump off a diving board, I'm swimming in the ocean blue. When I'm with you, time stops and my heart drops. I know you feel it too. Ain't that the truth? You know the feeling, how I feel when I'm with you, 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 you. And tell me if you feel it, if you feel it too. I wrote you this note just to say I like you. Do you feel
the same, and I left it unsigned. If you figure it out, then meet me outside. Let's spend July and make the most of our time. When I'm with you, let's work on poetry. I wanna hear you sing it too. When I'm with you, I get a sugar rush. You're just as sweet as picking fruit. When I'm with you, I'm not for PDA, but I know we'd make it cool. We're young, it's true, but I get this feeling. It's how I feel when I'm with you. And I hope you feel it too. It's how I feel when I'm with you.